Hey Mike, so today we'll go ahead and go over a few of the videos that you sent me. I went ahead and increased some of the volume in your next training or your current training block, and obviously your next block is going to continue to increase in that fashion. I definitely suggest trying to look for, excuse me, a general time frame when the next meet will be. When exactly is up to you. I was thinking of having a decently long off season so we can kind of accomplish some of your aesthetic goals possibly, and definitely have plenty of time to put on some strength and kind of add to different training qualities. But again, that's 100% up to you. Just let me know if you have a general time frame or even better, a date in mind. So yeah, just let me know on that. Let's go ahead and go over a few videos though. Starting off with the conventional 425. First and foremost, your conventional is looking incredible, really, really good. We did a good job of dialing it in before last meet, and this 425 looked like nothing. Really good job. Building decent tension, staying tight, neutral spine, nice and tall. Not any complaints here. Really good. Not to mention it looked really easy, which is awesome. That looked cakey. So it's definitely, don't be afraid to push that next week because that 425 looked incredibly easy. And I definitely think you're capable of 450 plus. So just think about that. If you're feeling good next week, the last few weeks of this block, don't be afraid to push that a bit. Looking at your sumo. So first and foremost, obviously, sumo is not going to be incredibly dialed in for you. I wouldn't expect it to be. It's probably the lift that you're least practiced in. One of the cues that I really want to dial you in is going to be knees to plates and keeping your hips higher. Right now, the two big faults you have is we're kind of treating it like a conventional, and as we build tension, our knees coming forward a little bit. Conventional, that'd be completely fine, but with sumo, we actually want to go knees to plates. We want to get them further out, get your hips closer to the load, get yourself in a more advantageous position, and then on top of that, trying to keep your hips high while doing so. I am noticing that that's kind of the two big things you're struggling with right now with sumo, but again, it's not your primary deadlift, so I wouldn't be too crazy worried about it. But at the same time, I would like to get some decent load on the bar for your sumo in this off season, because again, the sumo deadlift is going to offer a lot of training qualities that you couldn't otherwise accomplish. It'll carry over to other lifts. So looking at what I'm talking about here. So first off, hips just a tidbit low. I would like to see these bad boys further up here, actually quite a bit further up here, more like here instead of down here. So about 4 inches higher is going to serve you greatly, and it'll kind of give yourself an anchoring point to use more of your posterior. And you'll notice, like I said, one of my favorite coaching tools, I've said this to a lot of people, maybe you, one of my favorite coaching tools is seeing where someone's hips are on the second rep. Usually the first rep, if somebody has troubles actually building tension and setting up, usually the first rep is the slowest. It has a lot of wasted motion, and the hips drop far too low. And then the second rep, their hips will be a lot higher, and because of that, it will fly off the floor. It'll have less wasted energy, it'll move much, much faster, a lot more powerful, and just a more proficient movement. And on that second rep, that's exactly what happened, and that's where your hips need to be as you set up on the first. So as you can see in this video here, if we were to zoom back a little bit, that's where your hips are on the first rep. And the second rep, oops, I did not pause that. I moved very quick. Second rep, they're way the heck up here. So they went from here to here, and it moves a lot faster for it. In fact, it might even be higher that time to move faster. So again, for you, a big part of the battle of mastering sumo, getting a lot better at it, getting some of those training qualities we're looking for, is just going to be keeping your hips a lot higher. Keeping your hips higher is going to be a great benefit in this lift. Now, right here, you demonstrated a little bit more of the second fault I talked about in this set rather than the previous set. But like I said, knees just traveling a little too far forward instead of encouraging them to come out. So again, the big two things is going to be keeping hips higher and knees going to plates rather than forward. And that's just something that's kind of been a habit from conventional, and not a bad thing whatsoever. Conventional is your main deadlift. So again, just something to think about for the sumo. But looking at this, hips dropped a little low, knees going a little too far forward. I would like to be a little further out. And just like last time, That one actually looked a lot better. You start with your hips a little bit higher in that one. But right here, this is a great example that the reason that I really like these 2 count pauses 1 inch off the ground, not only do they do a really good job of having a lot of strength carry over to other lifts, but also they kind of teach someone how to build tension properly, because where your hips are and the tension you feel when you pause 1 inch off the ground is exactly where it should be when you build tension to that point. So what I mean by that is if we look at this video here, you'll notice that when you actually pause on the bottom there, that's actually where I want it to be when you build tension. Right around there. That's right around where the hips need to be when you build tension on the first initial rep. But again, that's just something we'll work on and kind of master over time. Now, besides those 2 things, not a whole lot to note. Obviously didn't get a bench video this week, so whenever you have time, that'd be great. Conventional, looking killer, no complaints here whatsoever. Obviously, you sent me a few more videos, but not a whole lot to note on. They look incredible. Conventional is looking real good. Sumo just needs those 2 things to be worked on a bit to make it a little more optimal and have better carryover to other lifts. Besides that, let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. Add a little volume, like I said before, add a little volume this week in terms of the final few weeks of this block. Definitely consider pushing conventional next week on the final week. And then, get ready for more volume coming in the next training block.